Each week I'm bringing along a different origami fold, encouraging you to take some time out for yourself. And origami is a beautiful way to do that. In folding a piece of paper, you will find that your mood lifts and you just become immersed in what you're doing. Everything else disappears. And that's really good to give yourself that break, that time out for yourself. You will have more resilience to help others as well. So this week I'm bringing along, I think, such a delightful fold. It's a puppy. It's simple, but it's so playful and so lovely. And this is designed by Akira Yoshizawa, who is seen as the grandfather of modern origami and astonishing. In his own estimations, he reckons that he came up with 50,000 different designs. That's mind-blowing. Apparently also he did do some folding in hospitals too, so it's really lovely to hear that. There's often that link, I think, between trying to show your care to others, bringing a little bit of delight from something just small and clean and an easy little piece of paper and folding it, and it just brings out the playful side of all of us. So you can do it completely plain and use your imagination to see little ears, its little nose, its legs, little tail, or you could start drawing on it and painting on it as well, so it's completely up to you. This paper is two-sided, so it's brown on one side and white on the other. Obviously you could shade your paper in first before folding. That's another possibility. So I'm just going to show you where I found this fold. So delightful book. Here's the picture. We're doing a puppy, and this book, Akira Yoshizawa, what an amazing image. It's really interesting, the history, and lots of different folds there, from simple to complex, whatever you choose. Look at this lovely picture of Akira there holding beautiful hair. It just feels like his own pet that he was making. Isn't that fantastic? So we'll be using this, and it's simple but delightful. If ever you folded the fox, it's a little bit like that, but often things are related because there's only so many ways that you can make something like an animal. So right, so grab yourself a piece of paper. I've got a little piece of paper here. I think I'm actually going to make this paper smaller because in a way it feels cuter having it little. So I think I'm going to take this is half an A4, I'm going to divide it again because I don't want it to be too big. So I'm simply folding my piece of paper. So you can almost take a scrap of paper to make your nice little scrappy puppy, your own little pet. And I'm going to make a square first of all. So I'm going to take a corner, bringing it down, and maybe we could do a very quick bit of colouring. So you've got the two sides. I'm going to remove one side. Obviously it doesn't matter if you haven't got pens or pencils with you. If you're in hospital you may well not have that, but hopefully you might be able to get hold of a piece of paper. I'm tearing that off, good strong fold there. So I'm going to see if I can just give a quick little scribble on one side. So I'm opening up my piece of paper and I'm going to do just a very quick little bit of fur on one side, and it doesn't have to be carefully done. You can feel liberated with colouring in. There we go, that's great. So now take your piece of paper, and if we take it and just fold it in half like so. That's it. Lovely. So next we're going to start building up our little doggy. So if you take your little piece of paper there. Right, so we're going to do a little fold, and it's going to go from about there, so it's not quite the corner, about there, up to here. So I am taking this and I am folding it. So it's going to give a little paw there, and it's going to give a head here. Now this should be about horizontal, the head. So I am trying to fold it. So let me see. Sometimes doing it into the camera is trickier. So there we go. Can you see the angle? So it was like this, and I'm folding it from there upwards, so we've got a little bit of a paw there, and out here, which will become the head, and keeping that fairly horizontal. That's it. That's great. So our next step is simply to give it a face. So I'm popping my finger in there, and I'm bringing it round, and I'm squashing it down like so. There we go. Making sure that you're happy. Oh, I've got a little bit of a, there we go, that's it. So I'm squashing it down there. And that's going to become the face. Lovely. And next I'm going to give it a little nose. So I'm going to take this little tip, and it's just going to be a tiny little nose actually. I'm folding this up just a little bit. That's it, just give it a tiny little nose. There we go. Lovely. And our next step is to give it a little bit of a tail. So I'm going to take this edge and I'm going to fold this up like so. And each time you're doing a line, you're sort of drawing where it's going to come, and then you might refold a little bit. So I've just taken that little tip and I've brought it up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm undoing that fold, and I'm going to put my finger in, and I'm going to pop it upwards the other way. Can you see? So I'm folding it upwards so it sticks up, and it's also revealing the other colour underneath as well. There we go. And now it's sticking up. There we go. And actually it looks like Akira did a lot less of the strong folds. He used it all a lot more sculpturally. So you can let it kind of roll like that. That's really nice. Lovely. So I think we need to definitely give it some ears, don't we? So just take the outside and fold those in. Like so, and the other side. And you could, if you wanted to, your little dog could twist around a little bit if you wanted to. So we could add a little bit of a line there. And we could also just open it up a little bit too, to give it a bit more of a body there. Or you might play around with separating the paws a little bit, so I might be bringing that back so that you've got a feeling of those separate paws, and it should just be able to stand up. And look at that, you've got the beautiful impression. It's almost an impression, isn't it, of a puppy. I hope that's worked for you. You've made your own little pet. I think it's quite sweet from a little tiny piece of paper. A little bit of colouring. Maybe you could name it as well. And I hope it will feel playful, and you'll be able to see that you can twist it around, and maybe you can do a few little things as well. See what else you could make for it. Maybe you could have a little stick or a little ball that could go with it as well. See what else you could make for it. I hope you've enjoyed that. It could obviously be a nice little card if somebody likes dogs. Yeah, maybe we should do a cat at some point as well. I hope you've enjoyed that, and yeah, check out Akira Yoshizawa. Thank you.